Hi everybody! Today I'll be talking about taking your tomatoes outdoors. It's a nice warm sunny day in May and that's perfect for planting tomatoes. Be sure to do your planting early in the morning or at the end of the day when the light isn't so hot and strong. It's better for your plants and it'll surely be easier on you. The other thing you want to remember when you take your plants outside is to plant them in the sunniest, warmest part of the garden and to make sure that the earth is nice and warm before you put those plants into the soil. When you plant them, make sure to give them lots of space in between, about 12 inches, so that the light can go down and reach the lowest leaves, which are actually the oldest leaves and need the sun the most. Before I sink my plants into the ground, I'll clear the bottom branches of the plant to make sure that I expose as much stalk as possible. And when they are going to get planted, they're going to be planted all the way up to that first branch. The deeper you plant your tomato, the more strength you will give its stalk and its stem to withstand the winds and the conditions outside, which are sometimes pretty harsh. Just as sun is important to your tomatoes, so is water. And you need to water those babies almost every day, especially if it's very warm. If you're watering your garden with a sprinkler, make sure that you water for at least an hour at the beginning of the day when it's cooler or at the end of the day when it's also much cooler and easier on the plants. If you're going to use a watering can, about one like this size, at least half of a watering can per plant is how much water they would need, especially during the hot days of July and August. Tomatoes thrive in rich, well-draining, slightly acidic soil. Your soil needs to be well amended. That means lots of compost, and there are other things that you could add to the soil once the tomatoes are set on your plant. You want to make sure that you plant deeply. Tomatoes like to root along their stems. One good rule of thumb, and this is a great trick to remember, to avoid your plants from getting leggy, which means too tall and spindly, you have to dig a trench and lay the tomato on its side, bending the tip up towards the sky. You pinch off the bottom branches and cover with the soil up to the first leaves. This will produce a stronger plant and one that will have a better chance of surviving all of the conditions from outside. Most tomato plants, like these, which are cherry tomatoes, will need to be staked. What that means is you need to have a strong, firm stick that will be put beside your plant to give it extra support and to allow the plant to grow straight up and be able to handle the weight of its tomatoes. If you don't have a stick, you can find anything that is vertical that you can put behind the plant and make sure to tie the plant lightly with cord, not so much that you're going to break its gentle stem, but with something that will give it extra support and allow it to grow along that vertical surface. Giving your plant extra fertilizer once a week, in some cases for certain types of fertilizers, and once a month for other kinds of fertilizers is very important to assuring that your tomatoes will have the best chance of being big and juicy and sweet. Fertilizers come in granular form or in liquid form, and there are many different kinds. Ask your garden center which are the best ones to start with once your plants get outside and which ones to continue with throughout the growing season. But it's a very important step not to omit, because fertilizer is what will make sure that your plants will be healthy and that you'll get lots of tomatoes and not just leaves only. Thanks for watching my videos. I hope you all have a great summer and a super great harvest. Good luck with the planting, and don't be afraid if you've made a mistake, try again. That's what it's all about. Have a super summer. Bye now.